Are you guys online with us from Team Triage? Yes. All right.
Yes,
so
we are here.
You guys can now start sharing your slide.
Okay, let me see if it works like I want.
Perfect.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, it's coming on. Perfect.
Okay, so I'm gonna use like 3 minutes, and then I just ask you to stop because Molina is gonna show the prototype for 4 minutes.
That works. And she will share her own screen, right?
Yes.
Perfect. All right, so you can start whenever you want.
Okay, just testing here. So, okay, let's go. So, hello, I'm Francisco Nardi from Team TEM. I'm gonna show you our solution, Triage, life-saving decision. But what is Triage? It's a software as a service AI tool designed for hospitals. It optimizes prognosis and triage of patients by predicting their outcomes via their electronic health records, which are stored anonymously under the GDPR. And now think about it. Have you ever been in a situation where was a clearly less symptomatic person seen by the doctor before a more symptomatic one? Did you receive a more drastic or much lighter treatment than you really felt when you needed? Well, these problems happen mainly because triage and prognosis in hospitals usually are not a comprehensive database decision, what impacts both the medical success and the patient health. But stay calm and be well. We have a good solution for it. Triage. Using machine learning algorithms, we can compare the patient information to our database using simple, cheap, and broad access information like symptoms, vital signs, and complete blood count to predict patient outcome. It also increases the predictability of resource for the hospital, fosters preventive action rather than reactive one, and saves money, time, and above all, lives. Let's talk about the global healthcare AI market size now. It valued at $2.5 billion in 2018 and is expected to grow at a compound annual growth rate of 41.5% of 2019 to 2025. We have some competitors such as Zebra and Philips Stacey. And we will have 3 different plans. Individual for 80 euros per month for a doctor's office, 220 euros for a small and medium-sized hospitals, and 350 euros for large hospitals. We expect to initially reach 2, then 4, and then 6% of hospitals in Europe, taking advantage of the fact that it's the first continent to have electronic health records almost fully disclosed, including interoperability between their countries and having guaranteed their GDPR. That's our team, Molina, AI specialists, me, product, and Ruivo in business. And we will finally show you our triage prototype. Thanks in advance. Molina, it's your turn.
Thank you, Francisco. Hello, everyone. Oh, can you allow me to share the screen, please?
Of course.
I don't know if you have this power. Oh, now I can. Thank you. So, at the beginning of ICC, we were concerned to develop something that was a first step to change the world. So we took the time to explore the problem, and in conversations with mentors and reference hospitals here in Brazil, we found that queuing up or ordering the line to be attended is not doesn't generate most value to the hospitals. However, to triage is to order a queue based on the prognosis. And changing a little the way we face the situation, we have a very valuable tool in our hands to predict a clinical outcome that gives a lot of power to the doctors make their decisions. So to prove our concept here in our prototype, we chose to predict the patient's outcome in the coronavirus scenario. So using a data set provided by one of the biggest hospitals in Brazil, the Albert Einstein Israelita Hospital, with more than 5,000 patients, we try to predict what would be the ward section that the patient probably would be. So we took some pre-processing part. There was a lot of missing data in this data set. It's very common in health because not every patient makes every test, every exams. This data set has a problem because we could not have access to the patient's symptoms. That is very important to predict the outcome. But even so, after all the pre-processing and having some finally data, we made some traditional modeling here. So this is a very interesting view that if the patient will be discharged or hospitalized is very associated with the age. Older people or younger ones, they have more probability to be hospitalized due to COVID-19. So we created some models here, analyzed a lot of possibilities, and we saw that the one that maximized the recall, that is the best one to deal with false negatives, was the random forest. So we used some techniques to find the best hyperparameters and analyzed the thresholds that the model should choose to maximize the recall. So here we chose the 0.6 because it has a good accuracy in discharging the patients, and it doesn't send to home the patients that needed to be hospitalized. So viewing here, so this is the modeling process, and showing a little bit our prototype to the UI, we think about a platform that is integrated to the electronic informations of the patient.
You have 30 seconds left.
Okay, and we can add some patient here and your attendance by hand, or we can obtain the information from the electronic record. And for each patient, we emit a report to explain to the doctor why the model decided for this classification. So John Doe, in this case, it probably may need ICU, even though it is stable in front of the doctor.
All right, congratulations, guys. You reached your time. Please applaud them. Thank you. Well done. All right, that was our last team for today, Team Triage. Does the jury have any question for them? Anyone?
Yeah, the other. Okay, the fact is when you make a triage, you don't have the data about the people. So here you assume that you have already the data. So the triage is based on more basic information, like the status of the person. So I'm just wondering if there is a wrong use of the name, or if you position this triage in the second phase in the cycle of the healthcare experience.
Oh. So I think we are assuming like it may be a little bit different, maybe, but like the triage already have like the patient information, like the electronic health record. There in Europe, the countries already share the information. So you are in Italy, but you can be at Belgium, and they can access your data if you allow it. So we think that it can be much more precise based on your history. If you have some type of disease and like the triage can check if you are in fact with that disease, if it's more probable or not. We like the questions that I made before. Sometimes we see in the queue that some people seem to be like more affected and others don't, but the priorities are inverted. So we are assuming that once you have this data and the person allows it, you will always have a better prognosis.
Francisco, if you allow me to complete your answer.
Of course.
In fact, it's the whole journey of the patient. So when the patient arrives at the emergency room, we already calculate the prognosis so we can order the QA. So we have to know what will be the outcome of this patient to say that he have to be attended first. So in the first step, we make this first calculus. So we make the triage in the first step, and this patient goes to the consultation. In the consultation, we obtain more information, more data, and can feed the algorithms. So we can make another prediction, and it goes with the patient for the whole journey.
Yeah, we'll always check before and after, and this can enhance the model. So if we think that it's serious or not, and we can check it always.
Yeah, so I understand. So before knowing the new pathology, you are based on the past, and you put a priority list based on the past, right?
Yes, yes. So we don't want to change it extremely, but we just want to consider some previous information.
For example, in this COVID-19 application that our prototype here, we don't need to know your previous information. I just analyzed the complete blood count. So with a simple exam, I can say a lot of things about, I can take a lot of information of what will be your outcome.
Yeah, makes sense.
Congratulations, team. The time is up.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.